Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily knit what is probably the easiest sock of all time. It's knitted in a spiral pattern, as you can see, which twists around like this and means you don't need a heel. So it's really great, especially for people who've never knitted a sock before and are a bit afraid of the heel. The great thing about this is that the sock pretty much grows with you, meaning it'll fit a whole bunch of different sizes. So that means they're also great as guest slippers, for example. And as you can see, the heel still goes up here, even though you don't actually have to knit a heel. This works because of the spiral pattern, which fits the foot really well. Of course, it doesn't fit quite as perfectly as a sock with a heel, but especially if you're wearing them over other socks as slippers or inside a shoe. The sock actually fits the foot amazingly well, and it's very, very comfortable and also quick to knit. What did I use? I used the Cotton Flex color yarn from Starkwalla because it has the added benefit of being elastic itself. And of course, a matching set of double-pointed needles in size 2.5. I've knit my sock to about 45 centimeters long, plus around 4 centimeters for the toe. That means just under 50 centimeters, and I can get exactly one pair of socks out of the 100-gram bowl. I'll show you how the sock is made right now. You start your work by casting on the required number of stitches. I knit my socks in size 44 to 45, which means I cast on 16 stitches per needle. If you want to knit them smaller or larger, feel free to do so. For our pattern, you just need a number of stitches that is divisible by 8. Like I said, I'm casting on 16 stitches per needle now. To cast on, you take your yarn. Then go from the bottom up into the loop on your thumb. Go to your index finger. From top to bottom through the index finger yarn, and now pull it through this loop on your thumb, and you've already cast on a stitch. You'll do this 4 times 16, so 64 times in my case. And then I'll see you back here. Your work should now look like this. I always cast on my stitches using 2 needles. That's simply because it keeps them nice and loose and even. But of course that also means I have to pull my needle out now, nice and easy with a gentle touch. So your stitches don't slide off the needle. And now we're starting with our rib pattern. I'm knitting a 1x1 rib, which means always knit 1, purl 1. And for these super simple socks, knit and purl stitches are really all you need to know. That's why they're especially great for beginners who are still struggling with the heel. Like I said, in my case, 16 stitches on the needle. If you're knitting women's socks, for example, size 37 to 39, I'd recommend putting 14 stitches on each needle. Always alternating 1 knit stitch, 1 purl stitch. Once you have 16 stitches, or the required number of stitches for your size on your needle, you take the next needle and just keep knitting. I finished with a purl stitch here. You can see the difference here. The knit stitches just go straight down here. And the purl stitches are even harder to see here. Have a little bump here. The knit stitch goes straight down and the purl stitch has a bump. That way you can always see which stitch you've just worked. Meaning for me, it's time for another knit stitch. And so on. And you just keep doing this until you've distributed all your cast-on stitches across all 4 needles. Your work should look like this now. A quick tip, especially for beginners, I'm still knitting in my pattern here, so knit 1, purl 1. The first 2 stitches of my first needle onto the 4th, because that way you've already got your work nicely joined. Otherwise, you just repeat our 1 by 1 rib pattern, which means always alternating one knit stitch, one purl stitch, and a knit stitch on top of the knit stitch. That's the elongated purl stitch, the one with the bump. And do this for the entire cuff until you reach a height of about 5 centimeters. You can do this quite comfortably, just relaxing on the couch. Once you've knitted 5 centimeters in height, we'll meet back here and I'll show you how the spiral pattern works. Until then, have fun. So your cuff should look something like this now, and I'll show you how the spiral pattern works in just a moment.